Well, this is, well, us here at Sebring International Raceway. And we hope you guys join us for what is going to be a rambunctious ride. For this is one of my favorite tracks, with the last track that we saw the HBDs on all those years ago. And, well, I mean, come on. Look at it. Just look at it. Currently 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Track length of 5.79 kilometers. Track altitude is 18 meters above sea level, partially cloudy, with a 5 kilometer an hour easterly wind. Practically, you know, mild, at best to put it. But the same three classes always come back to give us an owl go. Currently seeing a stacked field in terms of nearly everybody has crammed into either HPD or LMP2. Sorry, that's the exact same thing. Well done, Rob. You've already messed up your first sentence. Craig is not going to be here with me today. Unfortunately, he is enjoying himself, and we all wish him the enjoyment of the lifetime. But we're the real boys here. We know what's good, and we know exactly what's good because there's HPDs. A very stacked field for the HPD field. We've got Diego Merli, Kenneth Cerquini. It's not Tarquini, it's Cerquini. Yeah, just it's an absolutely stacked field out there. Ryan Ware, you know, just all you could ever want in life. Kevin Bellens in the cross, not the Nim cross, but the cross from Need for Speed Most Wanted is out there joining us. David Barraclough, after his time at Monza, he'll be wanting to, you know, do as Will eat well, because Will eat well in his silver liveried Aston Martin. Very nice, just plain our livery. Javier Mondrajo, Jimmy Broadman gracing us once again in the B8 motor. Connor Clifford, Robert Plumley. Now that's a character. We haven't seen him in the Proto-GT Thrustmaster Challenge. iRacing, can we have a new way of naming it? Can we just say Thrustmaster Proto-GT Challenge? Or just call it, like, you know how IMSA has the IMSA Vintage? Why can't we just call this Throwback Le Mans Series or something like that? I don't know. Something to insatiate my thirst for goodness. But they're doing their qualifying as of right now. Currently, as it stands, 3 minutes left of qualifying. There will be no big upsets, big cries, or anything like that this time around. You'll be looking at, well, a quite nicely centered field. We're not going to leave anything out, by the way, the GT2s. What can you say about them? There's Seth Whitaker. He wants to... I would say he would want to improve after last week. Unfortunately, he didn't really get the launch off he deserves, really. He had a good run, but just couldn't tie it all up and get that W. So he'll be looking for the W. But this man is always there to defend his honor. Legend Zach just stormed, and he is 1 second ahead in terms of qualifying. That is bonkers for this car. 1 second ahead of everybody else. He comes, he sees, he conquers. Just, I mean, what else can you say apart from that? It's just blissfully fast. Going through. That's not Watchtower. Now the track map has gone out of my head. I know the big ones. I know the main ones. One of them is Cunningham, one of them is Tower. Can't remember which one it is. I think Cunningham is first. Of course, we have the usual crew. That's Lars Moldenhauer, Emerson Gaudin, who has just parked his car, Reed Slowey. Some of the names. He won't be slow. But this man currently is at P1 for the HPDs with a 147.615. He has just gone slower, unfortunately. And Kenneth Cerquini has parked it. He's not taking further part in that, so unfortunately won't be able to make a difference. Now, this is not what I would expect. This is an Audi liveried Honda, and unfortunately is slower. And I don't think anybody's really threatening the guys up ahead. Pesavento is slow. Matthias, does he have the stones? He does have the stones, but it's only good enough for P16. Pesavento will be starting from the back, unless he can put in another good lap. Waiting on Jimmy. Come on, Jim. You got this one. But they'll all be going through this, apart from the noise. Into sunset. Let the car drift out. Try not to hit the wall. And try not to have your ears blasted from this car. It is loud. I was a 155.983, which does not count. So, we'll also be starting from the back. And that is it for qualifying. And of course, with that comes, I think, what everybody wants to know. What are the qualifying results like? For the boys in Marquardt, will be first, 147.496. Serquini second with a 147.513. Kaitan will be in third with a 147.693. Merli with 147.784. Placid on his car. Lundy with a 147.850. Saraiva is in 6th position. And I'll let the rest of the results scroll through. Top 9, top 10. Not a lot separating them, so this will be an interesting race from their perspective, especially with it only being 30 minutes. So get your popcorn out. I'm guaranteeing you're going to be seeing something at sunset, and then all the way down, rounding out 18 HPDs. If my math is correct, no correction, it was 17. All of them at the end of the day did actually manage to qualify, with Perales being the last one in his field to qualify. And of course, we'll go backwards for the... Well, backwards enough for the for the GT2s. The ones that did not qualify was Christopher Roxas, Erling Boomer, and Jimmy Broadbent, who will be starting 13th, 12th, and 11th respectively. Then in 10th is Stefan Casafidi. Oh my goodness, I'm going to be murdering these names from here on in. Clifford in 9th position. And then we go through Vijon with a 155.722 is in 8th. 7th is Humphrey. 6th, the world of Kindushi Racing, Robert Plumley. Willie Well is in 5th. 4th is Ramayo Janssens in 3rd, Bellens in 2nd in the cross-liveried car, and Barraclough puts himself on 1st where he should be. He should absolutely be in 1st. Then on to the GT2s. Christoph Olesniczak, 159.008, is joined only by Seth Whitaker in 2nd place in the 159.814 range. The GT2s are definitely going to be having a little bit of a strappy moment here for the boys. Pitas in 2nd at 2 minutes. It's quite scary when it says 2 on your screen. Miller also in the 2-minute range in 4th. Skayats in 5th. Moldenhauer in 6th. 7th is Goud, and Slowey rounds out the 8 GT2s taking part in this split. There's Barney there. Sat. He's going to be, well, it's just going to be sat there, really. Not much else you can really do apart from wait for the cars to come back around so you can wave his flag. And while we're doing that, this is what we've got ahead of us. A monumentous number of cars ahead. That is going to be Dennis Marquardt on your right-hand side of your screen. And that is Kenneth Serquini looking to get a look at the cameras. If any of the front runners in HBD are watching, give us a flash, you know. Let us know you're tuning in to see your own progress. Or don't run into the car. Ah, somebody's flashing. Hey! Somebody flashed. Safety car coming through. A very stacked HPD field, as I said before. 17 runners. That is going to be very difficult to come through, especially if you're coming from the back and you're maybe out of step. Now, Pesavento will definitely be one of those cars. He's 11th now, and he has to get through 10. I would imagine that he's a bit out of sorts. Now, he didn't have the greatest look last time out, but, you know, things can change. We are all at the mercy of, you know, good times and the bad times, so let's see what he can do. Then as we come through, GT1's then coming up. Barraclough will try and get ahead of Bellens very quickly, and essentially what you want is the bellow away from you as soon as you get on through Le Mans back onto the back straight, and then hope by way of prayer and otherwise that the car doesn't catch up to you when it comes to sunset. Only 3 Corvettes are running today. That's Bellens, Plumley, and Broadbent are the only ones running the Corvette. And then, of course, Legend needs to just run away from Seth Whitaker. We've seen how effective of a customer he is when he gets behind the wheel. And as they come around sunset, your scoreboard looks like this. 30-minute timer on your screens. There will be not a huge precaution in terms of lap times. There is enough separating them that at the very least no issues should be seen. Des Marquardt coming through sunset alongside Kenneth Sequini, Keita, Murley, Lundy, Saraiva, Ware, Lysel, Kuberstein, Bertoletti, as they already are gunning it, not waiting for anything as a green flag is waved by Barney. 30 minutes starting now. Into the first corner, look for the cone that's sticking out through the fence. Nice and tight through there, making sure that you don't collect yourself onto the grass. The HPDs are making it through. That's very good indeed to see. Very good start off for all of them. Bellens, unfortunately, was just not able to get the jump off the gun that he's wanted and is stuck behind and stuck in the middle of a British sandwich. The kind of sandwich that, you know, would love a bit of country time. You know, you'd sit down, you have a bit of Samo, but not the kind of one that you'd want to see in your race. Of course, Seth keeping very close to Christoph as best he can, but this is the problem. As soon as he starts going, well, that's the pace car, unfortunately. But as soon as Seth loses that toe, that is going to be what I would consider a game over for him, because as we saw before, he just once you got to the point where, you know, it kind of happened to you, you just couldn't catch up to him. Christoph just belted away as fast as he could. And hopefully that won't happen again this time. Very technical, especially around the first 4 or 5 corners. Then you get onto this back half up through towards Le Mans, and then you'd want to hold on right to your hats. HPDs are coming up to lap 1 completed. Ray Vijoen, unfortunately, issues through, and he is dropped down into 8th. That is going to be Christoph. Unfortunately, a slowdown has occurred to him. He is really under pressure right now. Jack Pittis, and that's Robert Miller on the inside coming through. He's absolutely caught up there. That is not good for him. 1.2 seconds lost, having to serve a slowdown. And yeah, that is not good. Really, really not good, because he's now bottled up, and Seth could turn the tables on him very quickly. That's Robert Miller, by the way, on your left-hand side of your screens in the dark red and black for GT. Oh, such a shame for him. He just gets caught up by a slowdown, and that really can ruin a race very early on, especially indeed. On the inside goes Robert Miller. We'll keep it here for the moment. There's moves everywhere, and the field is quite tight, but the GT2s do not get enough love from myself or Craig, so we're making it up this time as Robert Miller slices through, coming onto the sweepy right-hander. Very well done, up into 2nd. In GT1, Javier Ramallo, Rune Janssens fighting it for the 2nd place. David Barraclough has already gained a 2nd advantage on them. Needs to keep that advantage all the way through. Otherwise, you're looking at a bit of a conundrum, because you're going to be stuck where the Corvette could slip through. Bellens, unfortunately, losing 2 positions to the British sandwich at some point, so has need to catch up. Probably the best point for him, if you can forgive me. It's quite loud in here. Yep, still loud. Yep. Yep, I can brief you on this one. My ears, they bleed. Through Sunset, keeping it right. Bellens using every single piece of the track and then some to garner off. That is Marco Bertoletti in the pits for some reason. He could have a slowdown or a black flag. Or slowdown while he's in the pits. That's definitely a slowdown. He's plummeting through the field. As we still look on Kevin Bellens as he's trying to wrestle the car through the technical first sector. Left. And through. Keep it going, Kevin. You've got this one, my boy. Christopher Roxas has had an accident coming through. I think this might be... Oh. Just lost control of the car going through all by himself. And just the other cars around him were unfortunately unable to clear him. And just got a bit of a sideswipe. Bit of a shame, but unfortunately that is racing for you. Have to take the blows as they come. That is Camille Caden. P4 behind Diego Mirli. On board with him. Looking down towards the back end of the straight. Right. Sweep out and back in towards Sunset. Good job. That is all you need in life. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Very well done. Then out again. Into the first corner. Look for the cone for the apex point. Very planted cars, these long. Lapping currently at high 148s. Looking probably to lap the GT2s within the next 10 minutes. Will Eatwell is indeed the best name we've seen in a while. And he's doing very well too. He's currently challenging Kevin Bellens. He will eat well. He will eat well. He just needs to pass him. Kevin Bellens, of course, still under threat. He did make the move back up into P3. That's one down from where he started the race. And unfortunately, I suspect he'll go 2 down if Will Eatwell does eat well. Did he eat his Weetabix today? Let's find out. On board with him. Into the right. Up into second. Third gear. Fourth gear. Now, we're not saying Bell End. Bellens. We've had this comment before. maybe I should say it Bellens. Billens. Billens? Oh, Billens. I'm sorry, why do I sound such old English? In through. Tricky S's up towards Le Mans. Right-hander into Le Mans. He keeps it nice and sturdy. Out towards, into the back end straight. Does the move be made? It could be, maybe so. No, he doesn't. He does not execute. Barraclough has lost the lead. Side by side through into Sunset. Javier Ramayo really opening the taps now. Has just decided, let's go away. Daytona. Daytona. Let's go away. Very well done. Through into the second place, though, for Barraclough Ramayo. Executing very well. Camille Caton. Still stuck behind Diego. Really is compacting the rest of the field. The back of this field, or back of this train, currently is being held by Jonas Koberstein. See, I can say a name like that. What I can't say, Pesavento. I have murdered his name at least on 3 occasions. I'm pretty sure 3 occasions this stream. Jonas Koberstein through into Le Mans. Nicely done. Does he need to slip out? He's looking like it. That's a lot of gains of speed. Through he goes. That is on Ryan Ware. Does Koverstein have it in him? He couldn't very well. That's a very nice move. Ties it all together. Next target is going to be Pedro Sorvaya. And Pedro with Pedro. I like the livery. This ain't GTA, mate. But he definitely can. This what isn't GTA is the good racing that we're seeing, and that is going to be a bit of a problem child for him if he can't get away fast enough. He's 0.8 of a second ahead of Jonas, but 1.3, 1.2, 1.1 seconds behind Carter Lundy, who is currently battling with Camille Caton and Diego Mirli. That is your status for the LMP2s. In towards the poor Kevin Bellens. Bellens, not Belland. Bellens unfortunately just had a mistake and he lost in total 10, equivalent of 10 seconds was lost and is down into P8. So we'll have to figure out with himself what he wants to do. That is an accident. Erling Boomer off the track. That is through turn 3 into 4. And unfortunately has collected Connor Clifford and David Barraclough. Oh no! Very much wanting to see what happened here. Where did he lose so much time? He had an accident of some description. Very far back indeed. My goodness. Oh! A grassy mistake, unfortunately. And I guarantee you... Oh! Yeah, that's what caused Kevin Bellens to be so far down, as is Barraclough so far down. That's not what you want to see. That is a very dinged-in front end. Now, while you have a dinged-in front end, you can still make things happen. He still needs to lap as fast as he can to make sure that he's not stuck in hell on earth. An update for you on GT2 land. GT2 land's going very swimmingly. That's Robert Miller in second place. Seth Whitaker in first position. We did have a few issues for Christoph. Unfortunately, lost a few positions. He's now back down into 6th. Not where he wants to be. And obviously wants to get back up there and show the crowd what's what. Nicholas Scatz and Emerson Gaudin currently fighting. Look at that gold and black. Look at that gold and black Ford GT2. That is tasty, tasty. And a throw out and a shout out to Cammy's Garage. Look at that logo. I'm sorry, I'm fangirling over this car. It just looks so good. On the inside goes Nicholas Skates. Skates very effectively through there. It's very difficult to control this car for any length of time, especially through a corner that's bumpy and as difficult as Sunset. Still fighting side by side. Oh, really shuffled out. Oh, poor thing. Unfortunate, shuffled out. And also shuffled Christoph in, who's just about in 2 turns makes up 2 positions. Wouldn't you know it? What a magnificent set of moves there. A little bit of damage on his rear right, obviously where the accident had occurred. Whatever accident it was. I'll tell you what's not an accident. This. Denis Marquardt. You know, it looks like Farquad, his last name. I'm pretty sure he's going to write in and say, why did you call us Farquad? Or hopefully he won't. But he's making it through traffic very nicely, and it's spicing up the middle field as well. Carter Lundy making moves against Camille Caton. But Caton fighting back fiercely, allowing Diego Mirli to fight. Oh, that's the Audi power, even though it's a Honda. Coming through, Carter lunging on the inside. And that is through Cunningham. and then holds the position through the next set on towards lapping GT2 traffic. Will eat well, is eating well. Rune Janssens is his next target. He's in third. Could consolidate at second position. Very tasty indeed. I'm really rolling off the food puns, haven't I? Quite a lot of camber I've just noticed on these. That is a huge amount of camber in that front set of tires. Do you see that? I want to actually see if I can get a good focus on that. Look how much camber those tires have. Barely making eye contact with the bloody road. How much camber did you slap on them tires? Moly moly. But Eatwell is doing well. Eatwell is eating well. He's ate up a fair few positions. Now coming on to Rune Janssens in a very nicely painted British Racing Green. Well, everything apart from the fact that it says Huskenveld GT Challenge still on his banner. But, you know, fix it, fix it, fix it. Coming through on towards Le Mans. Right-hander on Le Mans. Use as much of the outside track as possible without getting a slowdown. A little bit of kick up with the dust. He'll have a slightly worse exit versus Eatwell. Eatwell, advantage now to him. 3 kilometers or 4 kilometers an hour advantage. Does he see any opportunity in? No, he does not. Come on through. Come on down to Burgertown. Does Eatwell come down, in fact, to Burgertown? He doesn't know. He's going to wait. Kenneth Sirquini. Not to be confused with Tarquini. Sirquini, 2 different people. It's Tarquini. It's Tarquini's. It's Tarquini if he was made of Sir. Oh goodness gracious! Who gave me a microphone? Anyways. Still challenging for first position. 0.6 of a second separating the two. A little mistake by Denis has closed the gap up. He's lost 8 seconds, 0.8 of a second on the last lap. A little bit of a slide through, tail kicking out. This is where the up towards 9,600 RPM engines can be really spooled up in the HPDs. Good amounts of speed through. And with good amount of downforce, you probably want to set it for at least medium downforce to high downforce. You've only got 2 straights. And you want good high speed through. And we always make the blunders, but that's what people want. That's what people love. They love the blunders. They love a bit of human emotion. I'll tell you though, Robert's been doing really good. He's my underdog of the year if this is the kind of performance he's been putting in. He's been putting in some absolutely stellar performances where you don't look. You know, he kind of just sneaks up and takes some positions and then says thanks. You know, he really is a fan of this. Let's get some positions and let's just grab something while we can. You know, I like that kind of driving. Closing up to Seth Whitaker. There's lap traffic coming through. These are the P2s, the midfield of P2s at the moment. Coming through. Robert Miller really has nowhere to go. Wants to sit on the outside. In through the 24. Has to let the P2s go by. Probably the best time for them. But do they sit in the middle? They do, unfortunately. That is going to be, I think, that is going to be the car 28. It is. Yeah, that was car 28. That was David Prezel in 10th. Currently kind of separating the two, but they will form back. They do just about. Oh my goodness, that was almost a collision between himself and Thomas Crump, who had to kind of take evasive maneuvers all the way through, but did give him a little bit of slipstream back. Not by much now, obviously, but enough to make the knees quiver. Throughout, we also have Christoph trying to make his way back through. Now, he did have a little bit of a bump to the rear right. So, we'll have to settle probably for third unless he puts in screamers of laps. Which he hasn't at the moment. He did a 2-minute 4:25. That is 0.4 of a second faster than Seth's time. But the gap between him and Seth is now 8 tenths. Or no, sorry, 8 seconds. Sorry, I can't. I have to add the 0. But it could still be possible. Could still be possible. That butching up, by the way, in the midfield for the boys in LMP2 toys has kind of set the deal, or set the pace of things. Ryan Ware, Pedro Saraiva, Jonas Koberstein up into 5th, chasing down Carter Lundy, who is in 4th right now. But will we see anything happen? Probably time would tell. Time would tell. And, of course, we need to keep an eye on this. The front end of things. This is Kenneth Cerquini chasing down Denis Marancois in what can only be described as, that's a John Deere logo on that car. Please don't tell me that the John Deere, don't tell me the John Deere is coming back. It's a very nice aquatic livery there on Ryan Ware's car, chasing down Pedro Pesavento. By the way, I mentioned it before that he was stuck in 11th position when he started the race. He's up into 8th, gained 3 positions. Not, I don't think, where he wanted to be. He probably would want to be a little bit further up, but you know how it is. You can't really shake a stick at it. You still gain 3 positions from where you started. Poor Rune Janssens, stuck behind Will Eatwell. Will has eaten well. He ate a bit too much grass there, and almost slid the car off into the sunset. You know, not what you want to do, but keeps things interesting because they have to stay close together. Rune Janssens, Will Eatwell, combating each other, passing through into out of Le Mans. And that is a big crunch off that car, by the way. I just noticed that is a big old crunch. And through on for another lap. Jonas Koberstein has caught right up to the back end of Carter. This is Audi Honda Performance Division, TDI Performance by Shell. You know, there's just a lot of stuff wrong with that car because of the livery. It's just like, I like it, but I also question, why do you make a nice original Honda livery? Stop putting Audi on it. I love Audi, but please, please. Keeping it nice and steady through the start finish straight. Barney will be waving his flag here, and I'm pretty sure 5 laps for the current leader, which is Denis Marquardt. Cutting through nice and handy there. Rune Janssens coming back into GT1. Still trying his way, or to see his way towards some form of resolution. Past Tower. Through the S's. Right. Left. Right into Le Mans. Your exit needs to be impeccable here to gain time. That was a pretty good one. But was it good enough? Will Eatwell has a gap ahead of him of 4 tenths. 3 tenths. 2 tenths. Has a speed advantage. Looked on the inside, but Will Eatwell held firm. Will Eatwell drifting out wide, though. Will Eatwell having to course correct. 3 tenths, still converting down into 2 tenths. 2 tenths now. Will Eatwell is struggling. He didn't hit the apex right. Drifts out, but holds it to fight another day. Or as James Bond would be, like, die another day. But this case, we're going to live to fight another day, because that is some good racing out there. Ryan Ware closing up, has lap traffic ahead. Can there be any which way, shape or form to shuffle the shuffle the cards, shuffle the deck. Not as of right now. Kind of holding pattern for the HPDs. There's nothing really able to close them in. This is the closest fight we have. Jonas Koberstein kind of drifted back, has got lap traffic ahead of him, and Carter was not held up as long as he would have hoped by the car number 32, Erling Böhmer. Into the hairpin. And on through. Just to say, Robert Miller, unfortunately... Oh! Kramonch much? Where did this happen? Oh, this happened at the start of his lap. Oh, no! Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. Janie, Mike, that car really did not just do what I think it did. Yeah, it just snapped at him. Drift and couldn't recover the car. And one slight hit has done that to the rear wing. Now that's a Kramonch. Kind of looks like my hairstyle, you know, the little flap. It's even bending into the bodywork. But yeah, that's basically one very useless rear wing right now. Okay, Bellens, I will freely admit we've had this conversation before where I've murdered your last name. I'm trying. we're not saying Bellens. We're saying Bellens. Oh, Christoph catching up, closing the gap towards Robert Miller, and just kind of squeezed in through the middle. 4 minutes left, 3 laps to go, according to the top stopwatch. Through into the S's, left, keep it left, then chuck it right into Le Mans. Probably will have the move here if he can shake his stick at it. Oh, Robert Miller really has difficulty controlling that car, especially when that car just stepped out. I'm pretty sure that rear wing is causing a bit of trial and tribulation. There's the move. On the inside goes Christoph. Robert Miller does not fight it. I think Robert just can't, with that rear wing as it is. It just is a bit of a nightmare for him at the moment. Try and control that thing, but hopefully he'll be able to get things going. This is Jonas Koberstein chasing on Carter Lundy. Lundy really got close. Oh, that was just a wall strike right there almost. Jeannie Mac. Very far. Wow. Bit of a heart in the mouth moment there, guys. Hold on to your hats. Carter Lundy closed up by the GT1 traffic. Jonas Koberstein going wide. They'll be closed up again. He won't be able to catch this GT1 in a nice place, and there's a group of them ahead of him. Currently at the head of that is Jimmy. Jimmy has done very well from where he started in 11th. He has gone up to 4th. That is a gain of 7. Currently battling the fella of Kendushi Racing. That is the Kendushi car of Robert Plumley. Streamer versus streamer. Fight. Rune Janssens practically wanting to make this a DBR9 train with how close he was. That was way too close, and pulls off to the side. I don't know why. Opens the door kind of prematurely. Oh, crikey. Almost pile drived into it there, wanting to make the move, but you know, thought better of it, but at the very least he did. Well, he's definitely ate his Weetabix today, because he is doing very well in trying not to kill. the car. Oh my goodness! Yeah, that's what we call a whoa. That is as one parked Connor Clifford. I don't know why he's parked. Oh, he's been there for... Okay, so he just parked. Okay. Hopefully Clifford is all good. Oh, he's back going. Hey! Welcome back, Clifford. Welcome back also to this battle. This is very stropey right now. Oof. Hold your hats, lads. Come on. By the way, Jonas Koberstein had, just for the briefest of moments, gotten up into fourth as Denis Marquardt took up the white flag for... Oof. Well, that's a bit of a drift there. Be careful about that, Jonas. You know, you had... Koberstein, you had it. You have it, Koberstein. Keep it nice and steady. How many cones have been knocked over? My goodness. Who's been murdering my cones? Rene Janssens really is trying his very level best. Will he? Well, does he have the Weetabix stored? Why am I even saying Weetabix? Because it's Weetabix. Janssens up into second. Very effective move there. Lap traffic may seal the fate, but he will be prudent to wait until sunset. Will eat well. But this man, Denis Marquardt, definitely worthy of praise. Very effective race from start to finish, as was Kenneth Cerquini. Cerquini obviously wanting that P1, but what could have been. Marquardt will cross the line with a smile on his face, I imagine, because that is prepared and made to last as he wins the Sebring Proto-GT Thrustmaster Challenge race, round 7 here at Sebring. Carter Lundy does make the move, or well, Koberstein made the move on Lundy, and Lundy tried to fight off Pedro, but Pedro unfortunately not able to make it all come together. By the way, Will Eatwell was out of Weetabix apparently, so unfortunately, well, he's having to go and accept the third spot. But podium for him, very well done indeed. Would want to say Rune Janssens did very well, and the battle between the streamers, Plumley in 5th, Broadbent in 4th. But this man, Seth Whitaker, how's my driving? Oh well, I'm not going to be calling Nimcross Jr. today. What I'm going to be calling is his number still on the back of his car? No, it's not. If you're reading this, you're probably cracking. Hey, hang on a minute. If you're reading this, you're probably Greg and Rob. Yeah, thank you for that. Yeah, it is us. Yeah, he's got a Raidillon TV logo. Hell yes. Oh, dearie me. But he comes home in first. Very well done by him after obviously the disappointment I would have imagined on that race on Sunday in the outskirts of Monza. Only one more corner to go. All that he has to do is keep it nice and tidy through. And yes, indeed. Oh, that's the wall there, Seth. But obviously he does it. Comes in to celebrate with his team. And well done to him. Christoph, obviously very disappointed with the fact that he had the accident which caused him to lose so much time. But obviously should be very proud of the fact that he got way all the way back up into second. And of course, once again, my personal favorite, Robert Miller. May not be on everybody's radar, but he is on mine. He did very well out there today. As did everybody, indeed. As did everybody, indeed. So, I think as the race results cycle on through, I think it should be prudent to say thank you very much, guys, for joining in today's race. Happy to have yous, and that was a cracker of a race. It was very good to see the boys out there doing doing what they do best, which is I don't know what to say. It's just it's enjoyable. But that'll be all for us this week. We hope you liked what you see. If you did like what you see, click the like buttons, get subscribed so you don't miss another race. For the Proto-GT Thrustmaster Challenge, the next race will be at Red Bull Ring, the Grand Prix layout, from week 9 onwards. By the way, I said week 7. It's week 8 for Sebring. Then, my favorite race is the one after that, which will be the Circuit de 24 Heures du Mans, or otherwise known as the Circuit de la Sarthe. How about the crashes? We don't usually do them, but maybe next time we will. There wasn't actually that many crashes. It was just a few accidentes. A few accidentes. I'll leave it to Matt Malone for him to do the crashes. You know, he's our guy. He's our guy on that front. But as I was saying, week 10 will be the 24 Hours of Le Mans layout, historic. 15 laps of that. That's going to be an absolutely jam-packed ride. After that, then Okayama International Circuit full course, and then the final week will be a poetic return to Laguna Seca for the 30 minutes of that full course. But as I said, if you like what you see, click like, subscribe so you don't miss a moment. Next week, Red Bull Ring. Join us then. Until then, I have been Robert O'Brien. Unfortunately, Craig King has been enjoying himself, so we'll see him back hopefully next week on Sunday. Take care and enjoy yourselves. This has been Raidillon TV, the only corner that you need. Good evening, one and all.